From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claimed to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Experience podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. Before we get into the podcast, we have some sad news. David he's decided to take some days off. Is the best way to put it. Like, there's no animosity, there's no fallout. He's still 100% our brother, but he has decided to step away from the Daily Conspiracy podcast. I for one hope that the last episode that you heard him on isn't the last time that you hear his dulcet tones on this show. He has had a massive impact on the growth of this show. How, like, even the idea of going daily was very much campaigned by Dave and myself. Yep. And we kind of convinced Ollie to not only go daily, but then to change the name of the podcast. So, like, literally without the input of Dave as well, the Daily Conspiracy podcast would not be in the format it's in and in such good health as it is right now. So hopefully he'll be back on the podcast again at some point. If he doesn't and he goes on to do something else, I think he's going to have all the success, and I wish him all the success at anything he does, because if there's one thing I can truly say about Dave is he is an incredibly intelligent person, and he has a unique way of looking at things and a unique way of breaking down things. I'm sure anyone that listens to this podcast understands that, and it would be a genuine waste to, like, alternative media if he doesn't continue to do that in some way, shape, or form.
And I'll second all that. I mean, you literally took the words out of my mouth. He's been there through thick and thin, and he's definitely shaped this podcast. And I think now we owe it. We've got to keep doing this, you know. For Dave, we got to make this work. I want him to look back and go, them boys are killing it, you know. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he's going to be back on the podcast soon. I hope Dave does his own podcast, if I'm honest. Mm-hmm. The guy is a talent. He just fits conspiracy, and he's our fucking brother, and he's our fucking brother. So I
bet what for those that don't know, Dave actually flew me and Ollie out to the States to stay with him for his 40th birthday. We had a great time. Like, we did some crazy stuff, like fucking ghost hunting. First time I'd ever shot like guns of any variety, really. you know, we were out for a night on the strip down Nashville, and you know, it was genuinely the greatest like non-family lad holiday I've ever been on. I had such a good time, and yeah, it's I will never forget like memories like that. You know, it's
No, that's one that you take to your grave.
yeah, it's that, I think it's that type of bond which helped people gel with this show so much and keep coming back and more and more and more. I mean, again, you guys don't need to know anything about stats and stuff like that, but we are since becoming the Daily Conspiracy Podcast, this week by Friday, we should top 500,000 downloads for the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. So yeah, you know, it's the
and that's really, if you look at it, only happened
8 months
over
work.
the last
under a year. It was maybe 7 months. So yeah, again, if it wasn't the three of us like building the ship, it would never have left port. And I'm 100% convinced that both me and Ollie are dedicated and committed to making sure that now the ship's left the fucking docks, it doesn't sink. I'm going to keep away from some icebergs as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think my mum might get left alone a little bit more.
Unless he's gone to meet her.
Fuck. He does know where we live.
He does know where you live. Inside baseball, Ollie just bought his mum a kitten. Dave's going to take that kitten and he's going to wear it to do your mum.
My dad's face, I just can't get over it. Yeah, you don't buy other people a pet. I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. No, he's not wrong.
He's not, but he wouldn't have bought my mum a cat. So we took a 3-hour drive today. 3 hours there and back to get this kitten from this farm because my mum's cat passed away years ago. So, and my dad says, "Oh, we'll get another one. When you're dead, you know." So there, we got a cat.
Like
yes,
farm.
Dave. I got my mum a pussy.
Yeah, so that's sad news out of the way. Now's the part I do try and sell you stuff. This weekend will be the second hangout that we do with you guys. So if you want to hang out with us live and come on the show, speak to us, we will be live on Patreon on Saturday evening, 10 o'clock UK time. I think there's a good chance actually that as long as there is nothing too salacious on this, I think it'd probably be a good idea for us to post this hangout so other people can hear it, so they can see what they're missing out on if they don't become patrons. So you can join us if you go over to the Patreon, sign up, $5.99 a month, and you get all of what we do ad free. You get the videos, and you also get this live hangout that we do once every month. You can also support us by just sharing, commenting on this. 5-star reviews mean the world to the algorithm. Spotify loves a 5-star review.
That's what helped build us up.
It is like we went from 0 to 1,000 5-star reviews in seconds. You guys were so quick getting us there. We're currently stuck at 1,300 reviews. We're chasing down 2,000 now. So if you're listening to this and you haven't given us 5-star reviews on Spotify, don't just think, oh, someone else will do it. Because you're the one that has to do it now, Nathan. I see you. I see you, Nathan.
Oh, no, I think Nathan did give us a 5-star review.
It was brother Gary, wasn't it? You've always got to watch the Garys. Always got to watch the Gary. Fucking Gary. Get rating me, Gary. Yeah, so that you can follow us on social media at the Daily Compod, pretty much everywhere. Email us Daily Conspiracy Podcast at gmail.com. We have a merch store. The links will be in the description for that, along with the Patreon and our sister podcast, Alien Addict. The links to that show is also in the description of this podcast. Right, first on the agenda tonight, which is there's two things that kind of lead into each other.
I've got the soldier footage, the RAF guy. If you want to start with that,
I think that might be better off being left for just a second.
Okay.
Because there's been a lot of stuff on social media. Now I've been racking my brains, to be perfectly honest, trying to think about the most subtle and like rounded up way of approaching the horrendous attack that happened in Liverpool yesterday during the Liverpool celebration, and there's I know there is going to be a bunch of conspiracy about who was arrested, what they were arrested for, who the 53-year-old man was that was arrested, why all of the news articles. If you look at all the news articles, it all said terror attack in Liverpool, 53-year-old white male was arrested. None of these things, and if you look down the article, at some point in the article, unless he's being charged by the time this podcast goes out, in which case I claim I can't react to information that isn't available.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that 53-year-old guy wasn't the driver. What I'm saying is he's very much being pointed at as the driver, whereas even the BBC article, if you read the full article and not just the headlines, said a 53-year-old man was arrested. It is unclear whether he was the driver or not. And rightly, from some people, you have skepticism in the mainstream media, and this is kind of where I want to get to with this, more so than the actual attack, because I feel just like the Southport murders, when it was originally reported that it was like a Welsh choir boy that the fucking animal that killed those children. It was, you had people like Nigel Farage that came out, and I remember the shit Farage got, where he said there is information coming out about this case that is gonna change the way people look at it, and there has been a massive cover up. And it's almost like, so you've got two camps of people now. You've got one camp of people which want, like, regardless of anything else, they're shouting, going, "Oh my God, the Reform people, they just want him to be a Muslim." But then on the other side of the aisle, you've got the Reform people that do they do desperately want it to be a Muslim. But on the same side, on the opposite side of that, the left wing people, they're desperate for it to be like a 53-year-old Reform voter that's done it. Like, both sides here are like equally fucking despicable.
Well, the UK media's created this whole thing,
and police establishment.
Yeah, because
they were culpable in the cover up for the stabbings.
It's not just that they've covered up other things before, you know, and they when somebody does a heinous crime like this, name and fucking shame straight away. You should be able to describe somebody, because I don't get if someone's done the deed.
There is due course. But this is the problem with that headline as well. I don't believe there is due course there, because like it strikes me as weird, like the fact that every article says like white 53-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, I mean, the crazy thing is the people that are jumping online, seeing that headline, going, "Ha, see, white person did it. I'm not fucking I'm not a genius by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know that religions, of which most terror attacks come from, is some form of religion from somewhere. I do realize religions transcend race.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't fucking matter. You know, like he could be, right, white 53-year-old man, okay, could be fucking Jewish, Muslim, Christianity, could be a Buddhist. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be a great move from a Buddhist, I'm not going to lie. But
no, they just sit down with their legs crossed and stay bald, you know. Lovely people.
Big dangly ears as well. So I find that way of looking at it odd. But I also find the gaslighting of people. And I know, like, if I was to go, and I will 100% put my balls on the table here, that, and it's, again, I don't want to speculate massively, but when you look at just recent history at the PR disaster and the cover-up that happened, how can you not look at that with skeptical eyes? And I mean, there's a video, sorry, Ollie, just to go, there's a video on the internet as well, like lots of people have seen it, which does show a 53-year-old man on the deck being, a man over 50 years of age. You can tell by looking at him, he's over 50 years of age, I should say. I didn't check his birth certificate while I was on the ground. He's being pepper sprayed. At the same time, somebody else is being pushed into the police van. I put it to you that it doesn't take massive amounts if there is the beginning of a cover-up here. And again, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. When I see that video, I see somebody that fits the description of the man that was arrested that is on the floor. I also see somebody else getting put into a police van. That suggests to me that there was two people arrested and not just one.
I'm wondering if the other person might have been arrested because he was kicking the shit out of the guy on the floor.
Possibly.
Because if that was me in that crowd, or you, a father, and little kiddies have been hurt there.
Oh God, it's insane. It's wild.
I'm fucking headbutting that windscreen to get at that guy in that car.
But like, what I wanted to point out, I did a little bit of research about this, and it's more it's the way people are jumping on people for not believing official stories. And why would people believe official stories now? Because time after time after time, the official story that comes out early doors is fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter whether it was the last terror attack. It doesn't matter whether it's something that's involving a politician or it's like something about COVID-19. Like over the last 5 years, mainstream media and the establishment as a whole deserves fucking none of our trust. But yet, when something like this happens and the official story comes out within hours, and you get a lot of people that are looking at it going, hang on a second, I've fucking seen this shit before and I don't trust it. But then you have this, well, I would say, I like to think that the entire left is just like the entire right isn't racist. I like to think that the entire left aren't fuckwits. But there is definitely a loud, hopefully a loud minority of people that if somebody just like sticks their head up and goes, oh, I'm not so sure about this fucking story here, guys. There is like a load of people online ready to go, yeah, well, you would think that you're fucking racist. And they put it across as if it's like, it's unbelievable to even
I'm so tired of the racist thing now.
Yeah. But there's a group of people that are online right now arguing as we record this episode that are trying to say that it is just a ridiculous notion that there could be a religious based terrorist act to this. And it absolutely might not be. But the idea these people are saying, oh, it's ridiculous. The idea you think that this could be like an Islamic terrorist attack is stupid. I remind you why we can't have fucking bins in fucking train stations anymore, for a start. And I've got a list here of things. Going back in the last 20 years. So obviously, we remember the London bombings, 7/7 London bombings, Islamist extremist motive, Islamist extremist attack, the 2007 Glasgow airport attack, Islamic extremist attack, May 14th of May 2010, stabbing of Stephen Timms MP, Islamic extremist attack. Now we're still only in 2013 here. Murder of Lee Rigby. Obviously, we all know what happened there. 22nd of March 2017, Westminster Bridge attack. No fucking prizes for guessing why that happened. Manchester Arena bombing. London Bridge attack. June the 3rd, 2017. 15th of June 2017. The Parson Green bombing. The 19th of June 2017, 14th of August 2018, Westminster car ramming, 20th of June. I'm only going to the 20th of June. There is a page here with another 30 incidents on it. Now, I'm not saying that this is just this is just a problem, and that all the problems in Britain can be put down to immigration or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to point out. What I'm trying to point out by bringing these up is it's not ridiculous that when something like this happens to a group of people at an event, that's where people's minds go, because we've seen this shit a lot in the UK. But yet there is people gaslighting these people that are trying to say that yesterday and the day before and the day before that and the day before that never happened. Those things never happened, and it's ridiculous for you to pretend that there's a chance it did happen. That's what, I don't believe that is a natural response from people. I was looking on X today, and again, this is right and left. Don't get me wrong. Just like you get an Antifa flag in somebody's little avatar, and then you go on, and all they've done is retweet far left propaganda. Mm-hmm. The same thing goes for if you see a Union Jack and a lion in it, and then you go onto that page, and all it does is retweet reform. We need, as a people, to understand these two people that are riling up these two seemingly groups of people that are riling up thousands and thousands of people to argue with each other online. They're not even fucking real people. It's fucking bot farms that's doing this.
Yeah. That's probably that's by design, though.
Of course it is, and
it's by fucking design.
And this is where the conspiracy part of it comes into. But I also believe that this distrust in the media is it feels like it's complete organized chaos. Because what do you believe? I don't believe anything that's written in the BBC. The BBC should be, if everything was on the level, yeah, the BBC paid for by the British people should be the most straight down the line news source we have.
Because you're fucking paying for that service.
Yeah, and it's arguably the most fucking bent news outlet in the United Kingdom. I think Sky News is right up there with it. I think the Daily Mail and the fucking Guardian are right there too.
Do you know what really irritates me with and I know America tends to film a lot of the scumbags that get arrested. Some of them you do see in court. We don't get to see any of it. We don't even get to hear the reasons to why they did it. No, nobody's released why that the Southport monster did those stabbings. So people's imaginations is an extremist, and that
also,
that is
that monster which also poured fucking boiling hot water over a guard.
Yes, but I think we should have a right to know, like this guy that's done this, and I hope nobody dies in this. I know a lot of people have been injured, even little ones. I really I pray for those people, and I hope that everybody is going to be unscathed by this, just some cuts and bruises or whatever. But I want to know why he did it. I want an interview, and I want to hear the interview. Why did you do that?
Well,
because I know people are speculating now that the guy fucking was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then he panicked and
if that's the case, I want to know how he got in. Like I've got a really good video just for
which is bullshit, because if you're just gonna get out of the car, well, you're not gonna fucking run people over. That is psychopath fucking behavior.
Yeah, I mean, I've got another video here now. I don't know if somebody, if anybody's involved in event security in the UK, or is maybe like connected with like military stuff, if they can get to military stuff, because Lee knows what he's talking about. But if
I think that's actually the technical word for it, military stuff.
I thought so. I
think spot on, mate.
Yeah, SEAL team stuff and that.
Yeah.
I don't know how regular this is, but I don't think I've seen video of something like this before. So this is of yesterday during the parade. This is a video of a sniper on the roof over the parade. Now, if someone turns around to me and says, "Lee, that is," let me make that a bit bigger for our patrons so they can see it.
That's normal protocol, Lee.
Yeah, genuinely, if someone was to come up to me and say, no, we often have people stationed on roofs for large gatherings of people for just such an event. Obviously, you can't fucking fix somebody driving into a group of people with a sniper. You'd have to be one fucking motherfucker of a shot. But if someone was to tell me and say, no, here's a list and some pictures of this happening at other places, fucking all in, I will 100% believe it. Me personally, I have never seen this.
Just something's just hit here, Lee. Say you're on the ground.
Yeah.
You look up and you see that, and that's just protocol. You see a bloke on the roof with a gun. What sort of panic in that crowd is the chaos that'll there's a fucking man with a gun up there.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, if I saw that, not for a split second would I think, oh God, thank God that guy up there with a gun is here to keep me safe.
Because it's the UK.
Yeah. So I find it really weird. Like I've never. I wonder if this guy on this video zooms into it anymore. So yeah, he is for anyone that doesn't realize, I can help people out here. So
was this after the event?
During it, I think. This building here is the Liver Buildings. You would have the Dockland over here. I know that because you get off the ferry from the Isle of Man here. If you go to Liverpool, so just in case anybody's watching this, going, is it Liverpool? It's definitely Liverpool. I know it's Liverpool. So yeah, like that's just like I think the other thing to take as well is the fact that this is so weird that somebody on the adjacent building has filmed it to go, what the fuck is going on here? But yeah, just I don't know what it means. It probably means nothing.
You saw that, you'd be ringing 999 though, wouldn't you? You'd be ringing 999. There's a sniper on the building.
Shadow of a doubt, yeah. Like so there's a shooter. What's going on here? I see that. I think fucking Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I think.
I don't know what's going to come of this. You know, I really don't. I mean, I've watched the footage. The footage, you see there's a couple of guys, they kick the back of the car, then he reverses on one of the guys. But then when he just speeds off into the crowd, I mean...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it. I'm not...
What was the car doing there, Lee?
I think something strange is gonna come out of it. But again, and I'm not... The reason I brought like previous terror attacks up isn't because, I mean, I'll be dead honest. Like when I first saw it, I thought, well, that's a terror attack.
Me too.
Like how many times there's a reason we have to put fucking bollards up now at Christmas markets and have them in sectioned off areas. Those bollards aren't just there like to calm like people traffic down. They're to stop cars fucking driving through things.
It was only a few months ago that it happened in Germany.
Yeah, it's happened a few times in Germany. It's happened a few times all over Europe. It happened in where did it happen in America not so long ago?
Oh, I know it. Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but I know what you mean. Yeah,
was it Boston?
But I can't remember the place.
I can't remember either. Sorry. So someone will hit us up in the comments on Spotify about that. But that's the thing. Like my brain always goes back to, that's the reason we don't have like bins in railway stations anymore and airports, is because like during like the like when we had the 7/7 bombings and stuff like that. I know like a friend of mine will be listening to this show. I remember speaking to him in the pub we went to when that happened, because he was worried that his fiance, and who would become future wife, was in London at the time when that happened. I believe she was in an aquarium or something like that. That's why he couldn't get hold of her. And 10 years ago, that would have happened, and none of these questions would have been. No, like people would have gone, "Oh, is that terrorism?" And then when it came out and said it wasn't terrorism, would have gone, "Oh, okay." Now it feels like something like this happens, everyone or a large portion of the society's mind goes to terrorism. But now there's this sect over to the left going, "You fucking bigots! How could you possibly think that it's that the person responsible for this is the people that have been responsible for 95% of the terrorist attacks in the UK over the past 20 years? You're a fucking idiot."
You are a fucking idiot.
But that makes no sense. Statistically,
Lee, they know that. The people saying that know that.
Oh yeah, of course they do. But I'm just pointing out, regardless of what the of what this situation actually ends up being, statistics are with the bigots.
I think we've just lost common sense in this country, you know.
I think we've lost perspective, and we've lost the ability to be wrong. I think that's a real problem we've got. People seem to. I don't know whether it started with cancellation or it got amplified with cancellation. And especially like if you like, I mean, I will be dead honest with you. I don't fucking care if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong tomorrow and I'll move on. I'm allowed.
We've done it. We've done it.
I'm allowed to get things wrong, but there is definitely this attitude now with people that like if you say the wrong thing, it's like, well, you platformed hate speech. You go, no, I was wrong yesterday, and now I've changed my mind. Like, I'm allowed. I'm a fucking adult man who fucking looks at information and can change his opinion based on that information. The only reason people would take your words verbatim the first time you said it and go, yeah, but you didn't say that yesterday, is if those people are so ingrained in an ideology, the idea of changing your mind is an alien concept to them.
Do you think we'd have had the riots that we had in the UK from the Southport killer if they'd have been transparent? I don't think we'd have had it like the extent that we had it.
I
think people
know.
just want transparency. I think people.
If there'd been more transparency on this stuff, and I go even back to Brexit, that's when.
Don't get me wrong. This is not me saying that I think this this driver in Liverpool, is a terrorist or anything like that. It may well be somebody who just went fucking mad and bonkers.
Yeah,
but psychopath.
I think that. I don't even think you have to be. It's an act of terror. If you want to call it
100%.
It is an act of terrorism, regardless of like I said, regardless of whether he's doing it for a religion, a fucking another country, just the fact that he's upset that fucking pickled onion Monster Munch is in every shop and beef Monster Munch isn't. Do you know what I mean? It's an act of terrorism for some reason. I thank you. I like to bring the big brain thinking out these days.
I love Monster Munch. Pickled
roast beef
pickled.
Monster, no, roast beef Monster Munch is goated. But fuck you. I've lost thinking of fucking Monster Munch now.
Well, all the different flavors.
All the different delicious flavors. People overhype fucking flaming hot Monster Munch.
You're right. Beef is a good flavor.
Beef's a great flavor.
Yeah. No, but I think we've created this monster.
Sorry, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
I think we've created these monsters.
Well,
like literally we've got a flip-flop fucking prime minister.
I don't know what he's I think the guy swings in the wind these days. I've no idea what's going on there. But what I was going to say was, before Monster Munch jumped in my head, I think Brexit is where you can pin this down, like this change in attitude down from, because that's when simply questioning like this immigration shit, like how much is enough, and can I see some studies that say what's too much? That's like, and it's the, and then it became a thing of like, yeah, but half of our infrastructure is immigration, right? Okay, but they're coming in like the nurse that sees you, is entering the country legally. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about illegal entries into the country, which everybody, every man, woman, and child should fucking go. When asked, like, should we allow undocumented migrants into the country? Everyone should go, it's probably a bad idea. That's the same reason you lock your doors. We don't lock our doors because realistically, if we can possibly help it, we only allow people into our homes that we trust. And that you had this massive shift that went from being, oh, you think that we should leave the European Union, and like people say, oh, well, Brexit didn't work. Okay, that's fine, but the reasoning for the votes remains the same. The reasoning is there was a lot of people out there going, I just want us to get a handle on immigration. And they'd been ignored and ignored and ignored. And that was the protest vote. And I still stand by the fact, I would argue to the fucking end of time, like the amount of people that turn around and blame inflation in the UK on immigration and completely ignore the fact that inflation is a global phenomena, like, is fucking beyond me. And the people that blame Brexit for everything also like completely forget that we shut the country down for 2 years over a cold. That's why Brexit didn't work, because Brexit happened, and then in short succession, just as that was getting sort of like beginning to get sorted out, we were hit with COVID. Like the idea of of Brexit never had a chance because it was fucking railroaded by the pandemic, and it might not have worked. Do you know what I mean? Like we might have been in much a similar position as what we're in now with Brexit. I tend to not think we would be. I tend to think we'd have been in. We might not have even been in as good a place as before Brexit, and we might have been studying going, yeah, it was kind of better to be part of Europe. We fucked that one. But I don't think it would have been as bad as now, meaning I think fucking pandemic and lockdowns did far more damage than Brexit ever could.
I mean, now, you know, it's almost like they are trying to U-turn that and get back into the European Union.
100%. What, like, Starmer will have, even if it's in all but name, he will have the UK back in Europe before the next election. I still believe the only way Labour can win another election is to flood this country with migrants to buy votes. That is the only way Labour can save their skins now, because never has a political party come in with such gusto. It was such an open goal. The Tories were a fucking disaster. Like, it was such an open goal for Labour, and they started fucking it raw as soon as they came in. And then all they do is they still blame, oh yeah, but we were left with. Okay, but what are you doing?
I think there should be some sort of rule there that if somebody comes in the country, they've got, you know, it's a 5 year before you have the right to vote.
I'm not sure what the rules are for voting in the UK. I don't know how. I don't know what the situation.
Because that manipulates the system.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, at least we have voter ID. It's a step ahead of the US in that respect. But just quickly before you play this guy, what I must say is, I'm not necessarily on a single team when it comes to this stuff, because there is a bit of me, and I've always said this. When you look at what a terrible job is going on with Starmer right now, what a terrible job happened with Joe Biden. Argentina is another good example of like where you've had a far right or a right wing, so fucking sound like the BBC now, politician be taken in. You look at France, for instance. If Le Pen can ever make a run at actually like being able to be fucking elected, it's such obvious like manipulation of the political system. Part of me feels like that's the design.
Mm-hmm.
That we're supposed to vote like populist, because if I was playing like 5D chess in the World Economic Forum, like single global government toolbox, I'd have gone like, look, Klaus, this whole trying to rule with an iron fist isn't working. People are pushing against it. You've got to make them love their overlord. So what that's like, let's face it, right? If Trump happened to be in the pocket of the World Economic Forum and like the global government, I'm not saying he is. Please don't get at me for this. It's just a thought experiment. Then, like, the US is fucked because there's so many people love Donald Trump. He has like the cult of personality that man has is fucking incredible, and it's like, and I understand why. You know, he's a charismatic guy. He doesn't appear even like he should be a charismatic and hold the weight he does, but he does.
Yeah. See, my dad doesn't like me and my dad. We argue about Trump because I quite like Trump. My dad doesn't like.
My dad doesn't like Trump either, but my dad also still watches the BBC.
Yeah, my dad watches the BBC, but I found out last night my dad's got a respect for Trump, even though he doesn't like the bloke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because with the conversation we had, he says, "Well, I just want somebody like that in charge of our country. That's all I want. Somebody who cares about the country or seems to care about the country.
I don't know if you do, to be honest.
Get some shit done."
But I think you could.
No, you want somebody who's not a fucking flip-flop.
No, but you also want someone that isn't divisive. And that's something like for all the, again, like, let's just go back here to, like prime fucking, like Britain when I thought like Britain was cool. You know, when we had like Tony Blair in Labour government. Don't get me wrong, Tony Blair turned out to be not a particularly nice guy. But one thing he wasn't was divisive at the time. So if you could get a Tony Blair which isn't a fucking scumbag, that's what I would like. Because the tribalism between right and left, if anything's going to move forward, has to stop. Because all that's going to happen is you're going to get a party in, and it might get one term, it might get 2 terms, but they will eventually, if unchallenged by a really together opposition, they're going to fuck it up because too much absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you need that. You need that balance. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you get someone for 2 years, then people get sick of that, and then they vote the other way. So you get the extreme on the other side for 2 terms. Then it flips back again. Nothing gets done. All it is mouth service to the extremes on either side. Like, the fucking magic happens in the middle. I will fucking stand by, go to my grave with that. If voting even fucking matters. Because
if it matters, yeah.
Because I can't help think that when you look at the stuff that's going on in British politics, and then you chuck into the mix that Tommy Robinson gets released now, there is always that part of me, that conspiracy theorist, that goes, is this all just a fucking movie?
I think it is.
Are these players just on the global stage, they get their fucking orders and they move into position?
See, I that's a completely other show, but I'm at the mindset that there are less humans than we think, or less souls, and you meet these people within your lifetime, and all this shit goes on around you. This is chaos, and you just got to sift through the shit.
Yeah,
for you to get to your journey. That's where I am. But yeah, shall I bring the young man, this courageous young man up, that loves his fucking country?
I haven't seen this. I know you shared it on RX, but I haven't watched
it.
Yep,
I put last night, my lad, because this young man stuck up to some Antifa crowd. I'll be politically correct.
See,
there.
Even Antifa, I am 100% of the opinion. Antifa is nothing more than a Soros-funded organization. Don't get me wrong. I think it sucks. A few innocent souls up into it that want something to fight for, but there is no way do I think all these people that turn up with brand new fucking Antifa flags at these rallies are not agent provocateurs.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's listen to this football hooligan be a bigot.
He's in the RAF. I've met one of my best mates in the RAF, cool people.
My brother.
Take a bow, sir. In a time when so many choose to stay silent or look the other way, one young RAF serviceman decided enough was enough. Surrounded by a mob of Antifa agitators, he didn't flinch. He didn't back down. Instead, he stood his ground and spoke up with clarity, courage, and a spine of steel. This wasn't some keyboard warrior moment.
Stop scrolling through the video because everyone else can see it.
Oh, right. No, I'm just because he breaks off to say like, share, subscribe. So we're just going to skip that bit.
Let him have his plug.
I'll let him have his plug. Yeah.
Moment or a stage performance. This was raw, real, and right there on the street. And what he had to say, it hit home, calmly, directly, and without an ounce of fear, he called them out. Every last one of them. So brace yourself, because what you're about to see is a rare moment of integrity in action. Here's the footage of a young British patriot doing what most wouldn't dare. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Have a watch of this.
They are leaving in small groups. So we could just spend our afternoon into the evening just shouting out individuals going off. But I want to say, what we did is really important. And I'm really not interested in what you've got to say.
The police are running in now on him. The police are running in on him. Suits here.
But I want you to continue what I was saying. Today was a victory, but what's really important to understand is that we were not winning.
Respect to the lad there.
That because of the hostile environment.
Respect there. Respect, lad. It's good in there. Respect.
Labour, let's be honest, has just continued.
What are your thoughts?
It is a wild situation, isn't it? Where
that's the British Stand channel, by the way. I'll give them the plug. Thank you, British Stand.
It is a wild situation where you can have what I would consider like the Antifa to be a far left. I would consider Antifa the organization as a far left terrorist movement. I think I'd go as far as that. Like I think they're I struggle to see.
They're pretty terrifying.
But I struggle to see the right wing equivalent. I don't.
Yeah.
So if they're anti-fascists, then in the way they're doing it, then quite what anti-fascism has to do with all the trans flags, I've no idea. But then the right wing equivalent would be like white supremacists and fascist marchers, and we don't seem to have that, which is good. Do you know what I mean? So I feel the balance should be neither of these things, and if we don't see, that's what gets me, is if there isn't large pockets of white supremacist and pro-Nazi rallies, what exactly are the fascists protesting? Like where is, like, show me the fascism. That's all. Like,
have you ever seen the videos where people interview them and ask them what they're protesting against? And some of them don't even have a fucking clue.
Right, there was an Douglas Murray brought this up. He's brought up in a few interviews, and I can't remember the Australian philosopher that says it. I think he's a philosopher. He might just be a university professor or something like that. And he calls it St. Georgian retirement syndrome, where all of the battles. So especially up until like the early 2000s, I think like around that 2008 mark was probably the last sweet spot. I think we'd made such great strides. This is the UK. If you disagree with me from where you are in the world, I can't do anything about that. But just in the UK in general, we'd made such strides in like gender equality, as far as like the payment gap, that type of thing going on. You know, the bit where women not being like shunned out of workspaces because of like toxic behavior. Because I mean that makes me sound like some sort of fucking like fist thumping lefty. But like, let's be perfectly honest. We all know, if you're over the age of 40, you know that when you're in your 20s, that there were, and even like if you're in your 20s looking backwards a bit further than when you were a kid, you know there was some pretty fucking unsavory working conditions that women had to deal with. So we kind of got rid of all that. So there was more equal opportunities out there. Great. I think to a large part we'd stamped racism out. We all kind of get on with each other. Like, I think but people say, oh no, but this was always going to happen. Like people that would say multiculturalism failed. I think it was. I don't think multiculturalism failed. I think it was taken down from the inside. You know, we'd all got on for so long, and then everything goes batshit crazy. That's just because it didn't stop. There was no adult in the room to have this honest discussion of like, right, what are the underpinning qualities that keep our society moving? I would say the underpinning qualities that kept Britain moving we were 10, 15, 20 years ago one of the most accepting countries in the world. It's one of that, and that's one of the reasons why we've ended up in this mess, is because we pretty much were fucking unprejudiced to a huge portion. And of course, that like people say, oh yeah, well, racism's always been a thing. Of course it's always been a thing. It always will be a thing. That's just like, sometimes you get people that are so upset with their own lives, they will take that out on other people, regardless of how they will find the weakest crack to do it.
The thing is, when you go out into the streets of Britain, which is the streets that are multicultural, you don't see racism. You just don't see it. Everybody gets on, but you see it in the media. That's where you see it.
Yeah.
But in the reality, I mean, I haven't been to London in a long time, but they say there's a lot of like crime. I'm sure there is, but the majority of places that I've been to, and I've been all over the UK, I've just not seen it. I've not seen hatred. I've seen everybody getting along, people opening doors for each other, people being nice. Sometimes people are not polite, but you know what? It's human beings. But the racist and the hatred that you see, you mainly see that in the media, and it's like the media want that. That's the mission. The mission is to spread the hatred.
I think so. I have no doubt. This is why I think, to drag these things back to the Liverpool situation, this is why I think there's something strange with the way those articles were put out, because the way the headline was written, and the fact that it was in every, like, it was Sky, it was the BBC, it was the Guardian, it was the Daily Mail, it was the Telegraph, every single outlet ran with this headline of 53-year-old white male arrested as car driven into people. So they knew that was going to aggravate both sides, because one side was going to go, hang on a second, why are we bringing race up now just because it's a white person? And then the other side of the aisle was going to go, fucking see, white people do bad shit too.
Yeah. We see straight away people
fucking aggravation.
People jumped on that straight away.
Yes.
And that the reason why they did is going back to the Southport killer. It took them. We had to find out for ourselves.
2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks?
Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
It took a while for us to find out who or what did that fucking heinous crime.
I remember thinking to myself at the time, when Farage was coming out saying, this is a huge cover-up, there's a massive cover-up going on here, I remember thinking, if he's not right here, he's fucking finished.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
So yeah, I really am my heart fucking bleeds for the people what they're going through right now. Like it's a horrendous thing to happen
on such a great day as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like these things always seem to hit harder when it's like it's a celebration of stuff. But I just can't help feeling that there's something there. And again, it could be me just going down a rabbit hole that was fucking dug by a cat, you know, and there's nothing at the end of it. But when you do this stuff like we do every single day, and when you look at things, I think you find a skill to help look around corners before you get to the corner. And it just feels like there's a corner approaching, and there's something else going to be around it when it comes to this. These things never tend to be fucking ones. You'd have enjoyed the police vehicle as well. I don't know whether I've got a photograph of this, Ollie. I've got a video of it. I'm not going to play this video because you can't do it. There we go. That's nice. This is just for you and our patrons, Ollie.
Has it got a 33 on it?
Does Ollie? The arresting van was MP33.
Oh, fuck off! There is that. See, this is one of the like. I'm in. This whole Illuminati thing, the Freemasons thing, where they show this 33 all the time. I'm in.
QAnon, mate. The QAnon saying was symbolism will be their downfall. And things feel awful QE at times.
They do.
But I think we'll end. Right, we're getting towards the end of the show. I wanted to bring this up. I thought we'd have brought it up sooner, but like for the last sort of tirades of the show, Tommy Robinson has been released. He has been released and looks like he has spent fucking a good year and a half on an island with a ball called Wilson.
Jesus Christ! Hey, he's rocking the cross.
He is rocking the cross. He has since, and I love this. Like,
I haven't seen this. Can you play this?
Yeah, I'm going to play in a second.
Okay.
I love this because it's one of those things that I saw a great thing, a great article about Tommy Robinson the other day, and it was a clip somebody else had shared, so I wasn't looking at the article. And part of the article read, Tommy Robinson is one of those clever racists who never actually says anything racist.
I've never seen him say anything racist, though.
I just thought, what a fucking... this was a left-wing journalist as well. I thought, what a beautiful way to destroy your own fucking point. But I did like the fact he has since had his haircut and his beard shaved off, and he now looks like Tommy Robinson again. But he went and got it cut in a Turkish barber's, and everything was fine. I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, because I get my Turkish barbers are amazing.
I've never been to one.
Oh, fantastic.
Not for any reason. Just saying. Not racist or anything. I'll let anyone cut me hair, apart from a woman. But I mean, no, then.
Oh yeah, you don't let a woman cut your hair.
Right.
Do not.
Unless I'm going back sack and crack. Can't have a man do that because then you're gay.
My mum insisted on cutting my hair till I was 24.
I thought you were going to say something else then. My mum insisted on shaving my balls. Let's listen to Tommy Robbo.
Our weapon is free speech. They can't allow it. Because if everyone can exercise their free speech, if we have platforms for free speech, we can highlight their abuses, we can highlight their corruption. On the 13th of September, we started organising United Kingdom rallies. I think the last one had over 100,000 people. We want to hold a free speech festival in London as a show of defiance. And at this free speech festival, it's going to be United Kingdom /MAGA/Mega. United Kingdom, because people, and I'm sorry in Scotland, I'm sorry Wales, I'm sorry Northern Ireland, it's going to be in our capital city again. It has to be. People coming from every corner of the globe, speakers from Australia, from Canada, from America, from Denmark, from Germany, from Holland, from Poland. We're not just uniting the kingdom, we're uniting the world. And London is going to be the centre for it. It's going to be a festival of free speech. Our weapon is free speech. They can't allow it. Because if everyone can exercise their free speech, if we have platforms for free speech, we can highlight their abuses, we can highlight their corruption. On the 13th of September, we started organising United Kingdom rallies. I think the last one had over 100,000 people. We want to hold a free speech festival in London as a show of defiance. And at this free speech festival, it's going to be United Kingdom /MAGA/Mega. United Kingdom, because people, and I'm sorry in Scotland, I'm sorry Wales, I'm sorry Northern Ireland, it's going to be in our capital city again. It has to be. People coming from every corner of the globe, speakers from Australia, from Canada, from America, from Denmark, from Germany, from Holland, from Poland. We're not just uniting the kingdom, we're uniting the world. And London is going to be the centre for it. It's going to be a festival of free speech.
I thought I was going through Groundhog Day then.
It started. It was only a short clip and it started playing twice, so I've started so finish. First takeaways from Tommy Robinson fresh out of prison. I believe that was the moment of his release as well, because that's outside the HBMS, whatever it is, Thingy Wood. I forgot what it's called. I thought he exceptional fucking ability to walk out and have some poise, considering he's been in solitary confinement for months.
Yeah, months.
That's wild. Like,
he looks wild.
Yeah, he does look wild, but like to still have like the wherewithal. You saw there that he clearly had like like a scrapbook, like a notebook that he'd been working on, that he must have had in prison. So yeah, I'm dead honest. I found that quite impressive. I found that quite.
Yeah.
Like, you stick me in solitary confinement and bring me out. I hate speaking to people at the very fucking best of times. So says the person that speaks to fucking thousands of people online. What do you mean, you knobhead? You clearly love speaking to people, any fucking large volumes. But yeah, I found that quite impressive. Clearly the train has not stopped. He's not going to back off. I look forward to the interview that he will undoubtedly do first with Liam Tufts. I think he will be the first person to get like the exclusive interview with him. Again, it's all this stuff just feels very timely, doesn't it? All these things that happen, and I don't know whether it's good. I don't know whether it's bad. And I've kind of got a thought, actually, for anyone in the UK that is maybe you're struggling lefty, and at that point, I
and they've made it this far into the podcast.
No, I think there's I bet there's a good number of like left of center people, like that's still I would call them still holding on, because like that was where I stayed for. Like most of my life, I would consider myself left of center. I've only drifted further right over the past few years. What I want those people to do is I want them to stop posting stuff they don't mean.
Because I don't understand.
No, because I think they understand it. But I think there's a large quantity of people out there that post stuff because they think it's what they should be posting. They think they should post the far left propaganda, or even if they're not posting propaganda, they think they should call Tommy Robinson a racist. Now, instead of trying to work out whether you actually think Tommy Robinson's a racist or not, or whether you think Nigel Farage is a racist, I want people to really think to themselves, because it's going to be fucking important over the next few years. regardless of whether you like Reform or whether you like Tommy Robinson, do you think that right now the way things are might be improved for your children's future? If it might not even be Reform that fix it. Reform might have to be the mechanism to reset politics.
Yeah.
And then we can go back to like a fucking centre left, like Tory Labour Party, or a centre right Tory Party, or a centre left Labour Party.
I don't think Labour will ever get another chance.
People said that when Jeremy Corbyn didn't get elected.
That's true.
People said Jeremy Corbyn destroyed Labour, and they walked the next election because the Tories fucked it up so much. People politics has a really quick revolving door, and the sand settles and gets rid of the old footprints really quickly. But so what I want people to think is are we better off carrying on, or are we better off just doing something new and then dealing with it in 4 years' time? Because if you still think Nigel Farage is a prick and you still think Tommy Robinson's a prick, you don't have to support them. But if there's that niggling thing in the back of your mind going, maybe we need something new to try and do something different, then just shut the fuck up. Do you know what I mean? If you're out there attacking these people, but you think Labour are a bunch of cunts and they're destroying the country, just shut the fuck up. Because unfortunately for all of us, I've had my problems with Tommy Robinson. I've got huge problems with his rhetoric and whether what he says will be more inflammatory than what's going on. I'm genuinely worried that we will see levels of homegrown terrorism in the UK over the next few years, the likes of which we've never seen, and we've seen pretty fucking rough homegrown terrorism, especially during the Troubles. So yeah, that sort of stuff fucking concerns me. But I also realize that things can't go on the way they are. So it's just a case of like, if you know that's bad, these are bad bedfellows. Nobody's saying you have to go and buy a fucking Nigel Farage t-shirt. But if you don't, if they're not offering solutions and you're not offering solutions, maybe just shut the fuck up for a while. And like let the people which have actually got the bollocks to use their voices rather than fucking like existing purely on fucking Stan accounts with false names and all that sort of stuff. Just let the fucking grown-ups sort things out for a while.
Well said, Lee. Well said.
Maybe, or we just got cancelled.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Anyway, we will have fucking fun, frivolity, and all the stuff you're used to finding from us. We'll be back tomorrow, delivering nothing but fucking freshly baked bangers for you, as we do every single fucking day of the working week.
And we fucking love you.
We do. Every single one of you, apart from Gary, who still hasn't given 5 stars.
Okay, come on, Gary.
Well, listen, we knew after Gary Lineker they can't be trusted. Not fucking before we disappear. Nothing is more delicious than him getting sacked from the BBC, by the way. Delicious. But anyway, yeah, you know what I'm going to ask you for. Go join the Patreon. The links are in the descriptions. Go get a t-shirt. The links are there. Go support Nick over on Alien Addict. He's a great dude. And it's our sister podcast. You know, it's all part of the Daily Conspiracy Podcast Network, if you like, on our ever-growing fucking mission to take over the world.
I feel like Pinky. Well, I need to disappear anyway because I need to check out and see how my mum's pussy's doing. So.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military establishment. And they are not what they claimed to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want those major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.